پهنای گیتی رو بموت آخه نداره تا به جنگین فایده
In the world of cinema, few filmmakers capture the quiet despair and silent resistance of everyday life, quite like Jafar Panahi. Once an assistant of Bhaskar Rustami, Panahi carved his own space, with a style that is raw, restrained, and unapologetically political. But it was The Circle, his 2000 masterpiece, that announced his full arrival on the global stage. This haunting portrait of women caught in the web of Iran's patriarchal laws won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival, second highest honor in cinema. It also earned accolades at festivals like Toronto, San Sebastian, and Cannes, where it was celebrated for its courage, subtlety, and visual precision. The Circle marked a turning point in Panahi's career. Known for earlier works like The White Balloon and The Mirror, films that centered on children navigating adult worlds, Panahi now turned his lens towards the adult realities of Iranian women. And what better way to explore this transformation than through The Circle's opening scene? In just a few minutes with no background music and minimal dialogue, Panahi establishes the themes of institutional control, emotional alienation, and generational despair. He doesn't rely on flashy cinematography or dramatic scoring. In fact, every frame is grounded in the texture of real life. That is why, in this video essay, we turn to the opening scene, not just because it sets the tone for the film, but because, as Panahi himself said, the rest of the film explains that first shot.
اول فیلم خیلی حساس هستم. توی فیلم بادکنک سفیدم به نوعی می‌بینیم، توی آینه می‌بینیم. به ناگهان فکر این مسئله افتادم که از یک اتاق زایمان این کار رو شروع کنیم و اینو گسترش بدیم، همون بچه رو به نوعی.
The film starts with one woman, but doesn't stick with her for long. Instead, it moves from one female character to the next, each woman leading us to another. With every shift, the film shows us the different side of what it likes to be a woman in Iran. Some of them are young, some are old, some are mothers, some trying to escape. But all of them are trapped in different ways by the rules and expectations of society. Through these interconnected stories, The Circle paints a full picture of struggles women face in the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Circle opens not with an image but sound alone, the raw, echoing cries, and labored breathing of a woman in pain as she delivers a baby. This choice immediately pulls us into a fully diegetic world. We are not watching a cinematic construction here. We are eavesdropping on real life. Panahi does not use a background score in the scene. With no background score, the tension and the anxiety a viewer feels is heightened. There is no non-diegetic music to guide our emotions. Every creak, cough, and whisper you hear is recorded on location. This anchors us in the hospital's reality and heightens our empathy for the characters. By relying solely on real-world sounds, Panahi turns his film into a kind of audiovisual document of every day. Panahi creates entire worlds in the off-screen space. We are not always shown things, but we just hear them, and the rest is left on our imagination. Dependence on real-world sounds only is reflective of Iranian cinema's aesthetic at large. The use of diegetic sound helps them achieve a neorealist aesthetic and not sensationalize their subjects. The film opens on a blank white screen that slowly transitions into a prison hospital door. The white screen accompanied with the scream of a newborn baby and a dialogue, "It's a girl," evoking purity, innocence, and the beginning of life. This white color signifies the starting point of a woman's life. As the white fades, an older woman in a black chadar takes over the frame. The contrast between the baby's entry into the world and the grandmother cloaked in black is stark. This film is all about the restrictions placed on women in Iran. Women can't be seen in public without a chadar, and Panahi doesn't try to avoid this reality. Every female character in film wears chadar. It's not just a costume, it's a symbol of control. The grandmother tells her second daughter about the baby girl. Dressed in a scarf with white floral patterns, she represents the intermediate stage, still carrying fragments of youth and vitality, but already embedded within the system. This proves that the use of color in The Circle is subtle but powerful, especially in the costumes. Nargis, Arzu, and Moida are all dressed in grey coats. There's a dull, washed-out look to their clothing, showing how drained and restrictive their lives have become. Arzu and Moida wear no color at all, which reflects their seriousness, even a kind of forced maturity. But Arizu's scarf has a slight touch of red, a small but important detail. It hints at her idealism, maybe even hope, despite everything. Black is the most prominent color in the film, especially in the chadars of all the women. There's a practical reason for this. Chadars in Iran are traditionally black, but artistically, The black stands for something more, the death of freedom, the death of individuality. It's heavy, it's suffocating, and that's the point. Moreover, as Panahi uses a neorealist style in The Circle, one way he does this is by using little to no makeup on his actors. The goal is to show people as they really are, without glamorizing anything. To make this work, Panahi casts people who actually look like the characters they are playing. He mixes trained actors with known actors, choosing them based on how well they fit the role. Choosing known actors also helps him carve out more natural performance out of his actors. A small but important makeup detail in the scene is a dark spot on Nargis's cheek. It's not just random, it hints at something deeper, maybe a past struggle or pain. It makes her feel more human and more real. The setting, a prison hospital, immediately introduces the film's core tension, the conflict between institutional authority and individual agency, especially as experienced by women in Iran. Panahi is known for using real-life locations to root his films into authenticity and immediacy. The hospital is an existing location, enhancing the film's neorealist aesthetic. The setting's color palette, white, grey and pale blue, creates a cold, emotionally detached atmosphere. These institutional hues underscore the clinical indifference of the space. In this scene, Panahi adopts a naturalistic lighting style, typical of Iranian neorealist cinema. There is no artificial glow, no stylistic flair, just a stark ambient wash of fluorescent white. The lighting is high-key, with even illumination across the frame, and very few shadows. The clinical brightness mirrors the cold, bureaucratic environment of the hospital. It drains out the warmth from the space. It signals emotional detachment and lifelessness. It enhances the realism and ensures the audience feels like observers of real life, not fictional drama. The editing in the opening scene is minimal, but very intentional. Instead of cutting between different shots, Panahi uses one long take that flows smoothly from one moment to the next. This kind of editing, or really the lack of it, makes the scene feel real and uninterrupted. Like we are just standing there, watching it all unfold. There are no cuts to tell us what to think or feel. We have to pay attention to the characters, their movements and their expressions. It's a quiet, natural rhythm that draws us in slowly and carefully. Later, as the film moves forward and introduces new women, the transition between them also feels soft and seamless, almost invisible, just like how their stories blend into one another, creating a shared experience of struggle. The first shot of The Circle lasts 3 minutes and 40 seconds. It might look simple, but it actually took Panahi and his team 3 full days to get it just right. It's a long take, filmed with a handheld camera. This choice gives the scene a raw and almost documentary-like feel. We're not watching a movie, but real life happening in front of us. There are no fancy camera tricks here, just real people in real spaces. That's what Panahi is known for, making everyday moments feel powerful. The camera starts in the hospital with the birth of a baby girl. Then it moves on to Nargis, as if that baby has grown up into her. From that point on, the camera doesn't just follow her, it moves with her. If she looks left, the camera looks left. If she's anxious, the camera feels shaky too. It reacts to her, like a quiet companion walking beside her. This helps us see the world exactly as she does, full of tension and uncertainty. But as the film moves forward, we shift to older, more mature characters. Something changes. The camera becomes steadier, more stable. It's subtle but shows that these women, though still trapped in the same system, carry a different kind of weight. They have seen more, felt more, and the camera reflects that. That's the power of this opening scene. With just one long take, a few muted colors, and the sounds of real life, Panahi builds an entire world. A world where freedom is limited from the very first breath. The handheld camera, the absence of music, the seamless flow from one moment to the next. It all makes us feel like we are standing right there, living it alongside the characters. It's quiet, it's unhurried, but it's deeply unsettling. Because in The Circle, what feels small at first, just a baby being born, quickly reveals itself to be something much larger. The beginning of a lifelong struggle. And that struggle is what the rest of the film unfolds.